on? Today we're gonna talk about some of the most common design problems that I hear people struggling with again and again, and we're gonna do that in a really fun way by looking at two actual spaces of two people that I love. We're gonna do some virtual designing for them. I'm gonna share my recommendations, and the cherry on top is that I got in touch with a 3D renderer. So we're gonna have some 3D renderings of the space with the recommendations. It's gonna be very cool. My goal is always to share not just specifically what I would do, but like the principles that I think can apply to anyone's space. There are design principles that are pretty consistent. So hopefully this is valuable to everyone by using specific examples. Teach a man to fish, right? Okay, I don't know what the title of this video is yet, but I'll put it here. I'll decide the title at 2 a.m. before I post this. This is the video. The first guest on the show is a dear love of mine. It's my editor, Paige. Paige edits usually 1 to 2 of my videos every month. She's amazing. We're gonna bring her on. Actually, we're gonna call her. Let's call Paigey. I gotta get this sweater on. Oh, I'm excited. Little Paige. Hello. It's
Hello.
Paige. She figured it out. Paige's first Zoom.
It's my first time on Zoom, everybody.
This is Paige, my editor. It's weird, I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to other people. She's the best. Paige is the best. Paige sent me a video of her space, so I already got to look at it, but I want her to like show us live. Although, Paige, my first question for you, based on that video, is how tall are you? Because we've never met. We've never met.
No, we've never met. Okay, I have 2 things to say. Firstly, I'm 5'5".
Okay.
Secondly, you mentioned in one of your many podcasts, mentioned your height in your podcast, and I was like shocked because you give me very, very much tall girl energy, and I always figured in my head that there was going to be, so now I feel confused that I'm taller than you.
Everyone's always shocked. Everyone's always shocked about my height. I'm 5'3". I'm just loud. I'm just obnoxious. That's why people think, I guess, I'm tall. I don't know.
Did you think that I was going to be shorter or taller?
Yeah, you're just, I can't fully explain it, but to me, you're just a teapot. You've got the energy of a teapot. And then there's a shot of you in a mirror, and I was like, is she like 5'10"? Yeah, you're taller than me. And it changes a lot. It changes a lot.
It does change a lot.
It changes everything. Yeah, do you want to share the space?
Yeah, okay.
Sweet.
It's time.
Girl, tell them where you at.
I live in Portland. I have a roommate that I met on the internet, and I love her. Her name is Brooke. We've been here for 4 months. Here's my bedroom. So much wall. Just so much wall.
Yeah, it's quite pared down and minimal. I appreciate like how tidy. At this point, I'm probably going to kick you out of the video and start talking about your room.
Good call. Okay, bye.
Okay, don't leave that yet. I'm going to talk to you more. Okay, bye, Paige. Bye, Paige. Love you,
bye. Bye.
Okay, getting into my recommendations for this space. Paige shared with me she does not feel like painting. She could paint, doesn't feel like it. Hard relate. So we're gonna leave the paint. Some things she's already done here is to organize the room. There's not a ton of clutter. It's fairly tidied up. You don't have to be a minimalist, but I do think the first step when designing any room, you don't wanna add more stuff before you've pared down, minimized, tidied, unified things. Paige's already done that. A+. Paige shared with me the big problems on her mind that she wants to solve is what to do with this long blank wall. And the other being how to pick a color scheme, because there's really no color direction happening in this room yet. She smartly recognized that most of her design decisions should probably flow from first establishing her color scheme. So we're gonna tackle both of those. The biggest call out here is I want people to recognize there is no one correct answer. I think a lot of the time when I watch these kind of design videos, it sometimes feels like, oh, this is the only answer. This is the only answer for this space. And that's a really paralyzing feeling when you go and try to design your space. There is no right answer. This is my take. There's stuff that doesn't work, and you'll know when it doesn't work, but there's not like a code to crack here. I would approach a really long wall in one of two ways. Either you want to find some way to break it up into sections, and that could mean like the dresser area is a section, and then having singular mirror, singular art piece above the bed, and kind of doing sections like that. Or don't break it up into sections and really play up that horizontal length, which is the route I want to go here. You could do that in a really simple, like low lift way by just doing a series of identically framed artworks or whatever on the wall to play up that horizontal space. But what I would love to see you try, Paige, is kind of like a faux extra large headboard, like a wall-to-wall headboard, sort of. There's different ways that you can do this kind of project. If this was like a home you owned, I would say go for getting like an upholstered wall-to-wall headboard. So much fun. And that just plays up the horizontal space. It brings so much interest there. Given that you're renting, a way to make this project easier is to just do it with beadboard and a little bit of like a picture rail. The lightest way to do this, to make the like illusion and visual effect of a wall-to-wall headboard by just painting it on the wall. Just do it in paint. Do like a border strip on the top or like a little 1x2 inch picture ledge shelf on the top, and then just paint beneath it. Paint it and the picture ledge the same color. So we're gonna top the wall-to-wall headboard with a picture ledge, and that is gonna be lovely because you can also add some height. You need a little bit of vertical height to the space here too. When things are all kind of the same height, it falls very flat. It's just not very interesting, not very fun. So we're gonna bring some height variety. You could make it much thicker, like an actual bookshelf. Make sure it's not at a height where you're gonna hit your head in the bed. You can take those books from your corner, put them up on the shelf. Got a little interest over the dresser area. Put a little art piece up on the right. You don't have to fill the whole thing. In fact, I would probably recommend not filling that whole shelf. Let it breathe a little bit. And if you want to make it really cute and interesting, I just love this. Paige actually shared these scalloped shelves with me that she loves, and I found you can buy some scalloped trim, add it to the whole picture, like picture ledge, and have a really sweet little detail. It's those little details that are going to make your space. If you have a tight space where there's not even room for a lot of stuff, just be like intentional and invest your time or energy or creativity into the things that are going in. Like really invest there. Make it special with a little scalloped edge. So cute. Cute as hell, Paige, you little baby. Just think of Paige as a tiny baby. I want to protect her. Okay, I'm gonna say to the right of the bed, let's do a large artwork. Let's do one large singular large artwork. It's gonna be hot. If you want, I would also recommend a lot of furniture, dresser, bed, nightstand. And this nightstand doesn't actually seem to be doing too much storage-wise. It's just books over there. So if we can move the books up to a shelf or even on the back of that dresser, I might get rid of that nightstand. I don't think it's anything special, right? I might get like a pedestal type or like drum-shaped nightstand for just a little surface area. And then it's gonna allow, it'll be less wide, allow some breathing room between your dresser, bed. You can it's nice to let furniture breathe if possible. Moving on to color palette. This is tricky because nothing in the room really dictates a color palette yet. I see some greens, I see some blues. I know Paige likes those colors. This is tricky though for people. This is what we're gonna do with color palette. Either when you're looking at your room, maybe you already have something that you are obsessed with, and that is a very commanding presence, like a rug. You're like, I don't know what the room is gonna be, but it has to have this rug, or it has to have this artwork, or it has to have this throw blanket, or these pillows, or this pattern, or whatever. Then that's your starting off point. The thing you gotta have, pull your color palette from there. Then you already know that you love those colors together. It's a perfect pre-made color palette. Now, if you're like Paige, and you don't really have anything dictating a color palette yet, look for something that does inspire you. And she actually shared with me, she just got this tiny little artwork, which is so gorgeous. I'm gonna say, put it up on that picture ledge. And if you love this artwork, it's combining the greens and blues that you love. What a lovely combination. Use this as your color palette. It's perfect. This wall-to-wall carpet this is rough. What is that color? That is like depression brown. I would say let's cover it up. Even if you have wall-to-wall carpet you love, it's not the same as an area rug. It's not about just protecting the floor and cozying your feet. It's about defining a zone. So strongly recommend layering, in a lot of cases, laying an area rug on top of the wall-to-wall carpet, especially this one's just so dark. It's soaking up all like the light in the space. So I would go, bring in some light and color. This is a cool kinda mid-century-ish green vibes carpet. Big announcement for rugs, especially when you're buying rugs online. You have to read the reviews. The official website images of rugs almost always misrepresent the colors, almost always. So look at the customer photos, read the reviews. Like for this rug I found, the reviewer said it's much more olive colored than lime green. It looks lime green, but they're like, it's actually olive, which is good. That's what we like here. Always read the reviews. The website rug photos be trifling. I can't take credit for these pillows. Paige found these pillows. I love this because it continues like the scalloping trend. We've got a nice olive green to pull up from the rug. Throw them on the bed, love it. Keep the blue blanket, we got our greens, blues. A sweet oceany vibe going on. As far as lighting, ideally, you would have like 3 different light sources in a room. 3 is ideal, 2 is great. Overhead lighting is killing me in any space. So I'm gonna say, let's hang like a pendant light, almost asymmetrically, maybe over the dresser. And that also is gonna bring a little height over there. And then what would be really fun if you're doing the built-in headboard, or even if you're not, is to do like an integrated sconce over there. Let's get rid of the lamp on the nightstand. We can free up some space. Instead, let's do like an integrated sconce. You can get a plug-in sconce that's renter friendly. And if you're doing the beadboard, it can be like integrated into the beadboard. With that, I would really be into like an accent color, something that's really gonna contrast with the blues and greens going on. There's a siren. How dare crime continue while I'm trying to film? Boo, I think that's it. This is how I would invest in this room. There's not a lot of extra space for extra furniture. Paige has done a great job of getting stuff into the closet, organized into dressers, whatever, maximizing, and doing only a few pieces. The fewer knickknacks and little separate individual things you can have in a room, the more sophisticated it is gonna feel. So she's got one big dresser, not like 2 little dressers scattered all over, whatever. And so she's minimized in a constructive way that works for the space. And then we're gonna get the biggest bang for our buck by doing like one big focal point for the design that's really going to influence the whole room, which is this wall-to-wall headboard. I'm a fan. And now I'm gonna bring in the most exciting part, which is a 3D rendering by a subscriber who got in touch with me. Tamara Marks is a beloved subscriber, and that is how you pronounce her name. I checked with her. Come to us from Portugal. She's a bomb. She made a 3D rendering for this space. I haven't seen it yet as of filming this video, but I bet it's cool. Is it cool? I'm gonna put it here. I feel like it's gonna be pretty cool. Am I in it? Am I in it? The end. I want to pause quickly to thank the sponsor of today's video. Ritual is one of my all-time favorite supporters of this channel. They're just wonderful to work with. Don't text me ever. Shush. Shush, shush. I was saying I love Ritual. That's the point. Ritual vitamins are the multivitamins that I take every day. But in addition to multivitamins, they've launched a new product, which is their Synbiotic. That's this guy. The Synbiotic is a 3-in-1 prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic, which is a supplement designed to support gut, digestive, and immune health. I take mine once a day, every day. Let's do it now. Let's do it live. First of all, it's cute as a button. Let's be a real YouTuber and show this. Ha 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 ha. Health. Ritual Synbiotic is more than a probiotic. Prebiotics support the growth and activity of beneficial bacteria in the gut. Probiotics are live microorganisms. They help to relieve bloating, gas, and mild and occasional diarrhea. And a postbiotic fuels the cells that make up the gut lining and supports gut barrier function. The delayed release capsule means that the supplement reaches the colon, not just the stomach, and the colon is the ideal place for probiotics to grow. Synbiotic is a clean formula. It's formulated without GMOs, artificial colors, animal products, none of that nonsense. You can use code Caroline30 to get 30% off of your first month. It's a great product. I use it every day, and I definitely recommend you guys check them out. Back to the movie. Okay, moving on to space number 2. featuring two other beloved people, my dear friend Alejandra and 𝐿𝐿𝐵, who are coming to us from Copenhagen. Here they be.
Hi Caroline and hi YouTube. My name is Alejandra.
And my name is 𝐿𝐿𝐵.
And we live in Copenhagen. We bought this apartment over a year ago, but we really need your help decorating our living room.
We listen to a lot of music and read a lot of books, and we want that to be reflected. We also have a problem with how to place the sofa and yeah.
Yeah, definitely. A nice window, a couch that is sort of covering the window, which is not the best. And this is the door to our bedroom. Then we have this sort of gallery wall. This is where we eat. So I need this room to be both a place where we can chill and be cozy, but also have our meals. So I never know where to put the couch. We don't have any table. Yeah, we really appreciate your help. And we look forward to hearing back from you. Thank you.
Alejandra also has a YouTube channel where she shares sustainable fashion. Go check it out. She's so adorable. She and 𝐿𝐿𝐵 shared their design tastes with me. I'm gonna call it Sexy Library. I'm obsessed with this. I'm taking a lot of inspo from the Pinterest board they shared with me. So the problem that Alejandra and 𝐿𝐿𝐵 are facing here is a very common one. A space with a lot of doors in the way that's making everything tricky and like a weirdo thing in the corner, and there's dual functions. It's dining and it's a living area. It's also a pass-through space to get to their bedroom. So a lot of functional layout problems that we're trying to solve here. And Alejandra shared with me, she's disappointed that the space feels cluttered and messy, but somehow also empty, which is a hilarious combination, and I think a lot of people can relate. She's open to replacing most of the furniture, but wants to keep the bookshelf specifically, which 𝐿𝐿𝐵's grandmother made, which is insane. Great, we're keeping it. And she's open to replacing most other things. How do we want to decorate it? Cool, let's kick it. Want to call out two things I love in this room that I want to keep. This floor lamp is so cool. I really think it suits, not just that I love it, but I think it really supports their design style. I also love this scally wall. So cute. That's the other thing to think about, like the things you have once you've created your vision for your space. Look at the things around your space, like does this get me closer to that vision, or does it make it harder to get to that vision? I would say this floor lamp nails it. I love that it has curves too. It's like, I think people and I often struggle to find good ways to bring curves into a space instead of just like rectangle, rectangle, rectangle. Let's kick it. Biggest general note, given the design style, Alejandra and 𝐿𝐿𝐵, that you guys love, I think you want to bring in a lot more warm wood tones to get that sexy, sultry library feel. I'm not seeing wood tones reflected the way I see them reflected in your vision boards. And we're gonna lean into some moody colors. She mentioned maybe an olive couch. She wants to get maybe an olive couch. Love that. I would say like a dark grapey-ish purple. I don't know what the color for purple is, but this shade could be really nice to pair with that. And then some earth tones. Let's start by defining the zones. We've got a dining area, we've got the living area. I think it's good to keep them on the sides they're on, but let's just really define the area by adding in an area rug. Again, with picking a color palette, I might suggest choosing a rug first. An amazing, vibrant, beautiful rug. Alejandra actually sent me this rug maker. These are like some of the most beautiful rugs I've ever seen. These are works of art. I would start with the rug and let the rug, again, be your color palette, jumping off point. And then find a couch that suits the rug. Pick an accent color for the chair, from the rug, etc. Great. The area rug can be just for the living area. You don't need one in your dining space. And then it'll be separate that way. So let's pick a bold, beautiful, sexy library rug for the living area. And I'm gonna rotate that couch so that your living room furniture faces into each other. Couch and accent chair. But like, let's have them face into each other so they're in conversation. It'll unblock that window a little bit, open it up. Adorable. She says she does want to update both the couch and this accent chair. Great. I'm not obsessed with this chair, but if you don't want to buy a new one, yeah, let's just reupholster it. Otherwise, you get a really cool vintage chair. Something with like a bit of a wood frame would suit your style very well, or just something you can reupholster in a cool way. Clutter. Most people need to do this when tackling their space. First, before you add anything new, think about how we can declutter. That means either minimizing, eliminating things. Maybe they go in the trash, maybe they get donated, maybe they just go to another room. Or if the things do need to be in this room, how can we just visually unify, visually simplify? So like here, for example, there's like 3 equally sized, kind of small, different separate storage things. Maybe there's a way we can unify those, but even just visually unifying them into one kind of storage item, whether it's a credenza, whether it's shelving, whatever, it's gonna feel more sophisticated, more mature, and it's gonna be visually less busy. It's also a lot of stuff on the floor. I'll say it again, the floor is lava, the floor is lava. The more we can get stuff off the floor, the lighter and airier the space is gonna feel. Okay, there's a lot of leggy side tables, a lot of side tables in a small space, very leggy. I talk about legginess a lot. I think people really overlook how much legginess creates busyness and confusion and too many lines. It's visually complicated. I think people really underestimate what big an impact it can be to simplify that. If you're open to replacing stuff, I would get rid of most of these side tables. I would say let's do one like grounded, either pedestal or drum side table next to the sofa. And then you could do a really small drinks table next to the accent chair. Ideally, you do want to have somewhere, wherever you sit in the room, somewhere that you can reach to put down your phone, your glass, your whatever. An even more space-saving option for the accent chair, just do like a little shelf, just like a tiny little shelf right there on the walls, like a little ledge. You can put a glass there, you can put your phone there, nothing more. Minimizes busyness, it's still functional. Let's bring that gorgeous lamp over to the corner so we've got like a little reading nook. Usually with like an accent chair, it needs a buddy. It needs an accent table, or it needs like a little ledge, or it needs a lamp. Don't leave the chair on its own like a loser. So the rug, in addition to defining the zone of this is the sitting area, it's also gonna help relate the couch to the accent chair. Another thing that's gonna help relate them though is a coffee table, but that is also part of relating these pieces to each other. Whether the side table or the coffee table, I would go with a warm wood tone. Let's bring in those warm, cozy, sexy wood tones. We're gonna take that bookcase, grandmother's bookcase, and move it over to this side of the wall across from the dining nook, because that's the only other area it'll fit. There's a beautiful medallion, a ceiling medallion, but no light hanging from it yet. You can get big impact for your space by investing in your lighting. Here, one chandelier, one pendant light or whatever. Let's do something sophisticated. It's gonna elevate the whole space. Invest in the light here. Okay, I'm stoked about this part. Moving over to the dining area. I love the chairs. They support your design vision. I would say the table doesn't seem to. I would get rid of the table and replace it with another like pedestal table, but bring in a warm wood tone. If you don't want to replace the table, you could also just like get a really cool tablecloth, but I don't think that's necessarily, I don't think tablecloth is really her vibe. It's kind of my vibe. Okay, regardless, Alejandra and 𝐿𝐵 own this apartment, so I'm gonna say, let's do a little bit of a project here and turn this into a built-in breakfast nook. It doesn't have to be complicated, just some basic like block benches built into that little nook there, because this weirdo part of the wall that comes out doesn't actually come out that far. So you could still have benches that come out farther, but let's do a built-in breakfast nook. And then you can do this like these like hanging bench pads on the wall. Etsy sells them. I've seen someone hang them from like kind of like towel bars. Doing this kind of built-in immediately makes it feel sophisticated, mature, intentional. It's incorporated into the architecture, and it's also going to like scoot it, it's also going to scoot the breakfast nook even more kind of over into the corner to keep that walkway, the pass-through space clear. I love the dining chairs, but you can get rid of them if it's really just you two sitting at this dining nook, and you'll have even more open space there, because she says she does like having the open space between the zones. Or you can keep the dining chairs on the other side, have the breakfast nook, and now you can seat 4 people at your dining table. And then circling back on some of the scattered storage pieces that were elsewhere in the room, let's try and condense those all to like 2 or 3 shelves above this other wall in the breakfast nook. But we can condense all that storage up here. Lastly, they also wanted to keep a spot for their record player. But you could just extend that breakfast nook bench and have like a little built-in, I don't know, a stage, like a step where you can put the record player. Yeah, I think additional random things could be fun to bring in an accent mirror somewhere, maybe behind, maybe in the accent chair, like reading nook. Ooh, you could also move all the gallery wall to above the sofa and then do a big mirror behind the breakfast nook. I kind of like that idea, actually. Write that down. Another task that seems like a lot of work, so I wouldn't do it, is just paint the walls to match the ceiling, make it all unified, a sexy, unified, immersive experience. I don't know why I just have such a sexy vision for this room. I do though. And yeah, that also seems annoying though. I might paint it like a warm creamy, grayish creamy color, or just leave it because this color works fine and painting is pretty annoying. Okay, now it's time for the 3D rendering. I haven't seen it, but I'm so excited for this one. Shout out to Tamara once again for making this amazing rendering. I hope it's cool as hell. Am I in the rendering? Am I in the rendering? Well, that was fun as heck. I can't wait to see these 3D renderings. I hope that was helpful for addressing some of these big, super common problems that I and everyone else face when we're looking at our spaces. Remember, there is not one correct answer. There's infinite ways to solve the various problems, which is why I'm always tinkering stuff, always changing it. It's fun to mix it up. Don't approach a space feeling like there's an answer you have to crack, because that's a paralyzing feeling and it's just not true. You got this. You got this. Okay, a couple of announcements. I do want to say that unfortunately, I'm not taking on any design clients or any design projects at all. That's a decision I've made just in the sake of maximizing my time and my schedule. I found that I'm not able to handle the amount of requests that come in, and I'm able to support the most people by doing videos like this where I talk about design principles that hopefully can support lots of people in their projects. And design projects unfortunately just take a very long time, and which just doesn't work with my schedule as I'm trying to invest in both YouTube, my podcast, which is an amazing time. If you haven't checked it out, it has nothing to do with interior design, but it's a giggle fest and you will grow and flourish if you join me there. Investing in those things, and also investing in still trying to get a little bit of breathing room in my schedule. Time to see my family, time to see my friends, and time to be alone. I love to be alone. I'm still working on that this year. Speaking of doing a design video, this is probably a good time to address something that if you're familiar with my channel, you may already have noticed. I am doing a lot less interior design content as of late. My channel started with just interior design because that's what I watched when I watched YouTube. And that's what I wanted to do. I watched Lone Fox like every day of the pandemic. He's the legend. And I was like, yeah, same, I want to. And I just discovered there's actually so many additional things that I'm really interested in sharing on YouTube. Interior design, I love interior design. Design will always have a place on this channel. It started out as 100% of the channel, and it's probably gonna be more like 25% moving forward. I know that means this might not be the channel for everyone anymore then, and I totally get that. Just wanted to address that. Yeah, I just want to be able to include some other stuff I really care about as well. But design will also always be a part of that. So that's what's going on. What are some other, you can comment some other like common design questions that you think will be applicable to a lot of people. I wanna answer questions that help as many people as possible, but leave your requests below. Okay, the next video is gonna be a fun one. It is going to be a lot about building confidence. Yeah, building your confidence as a human person walking this earth. Confidence takes a lot of forms. I think it's gonna be a spicy conversation. It's gonna be a spicy one. So that's coming up next week. Look forward to it. Thank you to my editor, Paige, for editing this video. I hope it was a fun time. My girl, Alejandra and 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, you're the best. Thank you for sharing your space with me. And to Tamara for doing the 3D renderings. She was a delight to hire. I'm gonna put her information here so you can get in touch with her for 3D renderings, illustrations, graphic design, and other creative work. She's a bomb. Check out these amazing women that YouTube has connected me with. Love a good creative hoe. Okay, I'll see you guys around the channel so soon. Love you, miss ya. Bye.
I'm just
sneaking this in because Caroline gave me so many compliments, and I just needed YouTube to know that she's the best. Like, she's the best client, boss. She's like really fantastic, and I'm really grateful to work for her. Caroline, you're the best. Okay, that's all.